With the rapid development of information technologies, we can get more and more data of a stock's prices. Because stock prices are time series data, more data means we can analyze a stock's performance from a longer time period. The longer the time is, the more uncertainties we are able to consider in our investment plan. Therefore, more data can help us increase the chance of investment success. In this video, I want to introduce a financial analysis concept called the moving average to everyone. Moving average is a way of analyzing a stock's performances from a longer time period. I want to use Facebook's stock as an example to show you how to perform moving average analysis. First, let's go to Yahoo Finance. The web address is finance.yahoo.com. Once you log on this website, on the top search bar, type in FB. FB is the stock ticker for Facebook stock. Click FB. Once you find the Facebook stock price webpage, click Historical Data. This time, I want to analyze Facebook stock from a longer time period. Let's retrieve data for Facebook stocks from January 2nd, 2015 to June 1st, 2017. Let's specify this time period. Click the little triangle next to time period. In the first box, type in 1/2 2015. In the second box, type in 6/1/2017 and then click Done. This is how you specify the time period for stock price data you want to retrieve from Yahoo Finance. And then click Done. Click Apply. We want to get the daily data, so we keep daily data as the default setting. And then click Apply. Next, you want to click Download Data. Click Download Data, this button. I'm using Firefox, so I'm able to choose the directory where I want to save this file. Click Save File and then click OK. Let me save this source data on the desktop. It's easier to find it. Click Save. Remember, the file name is fb.csv. The file download is done. Let's open the file. Let's take a look at this CSV file. In this source data file, there are 7 columns. Date, when each date record was recorded. Opening price, high price, low price, and the closing price for Facebook stock every day. The date column is very important. As I mentioned in the previous lecture, the date column will be used as an index of data records when we bring the source data to the Jupyter system. So remember the column name, date. This is what we will be using. We'll use this column to create an index for the data frame. If you see some hashtag, they are still dates. The reason we see hashtags because we are running out of space in Excel. We just click the boundary between A and B. You will see a little cross, right? When you see this little cross, double click on it. Then you will see all dates show up in the source file. We don't need to analyze data in Excel. I just want to show you the data table structure. Now let's go to Jupyter system. Let's type in the web address, try.jupyter.org. By the way, if you are accessing to Jupyter at work or on a computer with antivirus software, if you simply type in try.jupyter.org, you will probably see some message like access denied. That means your computer has a very high level security setting. The way to fix this issue is to add something in front of try.jupyter.org. We need to add https://. HTTPS means you are accessing to a website in a security way. If you add this prefix in front of the web address, your computer will allow you to communicate with the Jupyter system. Let's press enter. Let's go to Jupyter. First, let's upload the source data to the datasets folder. Click datasets. Click another datasets. This is the place we should upload data to. Click upload in the upper right corner. And then choose fb.csv. This is the source file we downloaded from Yahoo Finance, right? Click upload. Make sure FB is uploaded to Jupyter. It's here. And then let's go back to the home page. Click Jupyter in the upper left corner. And then click Welcome to Python. Let's add a script cell. Let's click the plus sign and then bring the data into the Jupyter system. We need to type in import pandas as PD. And then a new line. Let's create a variable to hold the data frame. Let's call this FB stock equals to PD read underscore CSV. Parentheses, and then double quotes. Between double quotes, let's type in datasets / datasets / fb.csv. After the second double quote, type in a comma, and then type in parse underscore dates equals to true. Note that T is in uppercase. And then another comma after true. We need to type in index underscore col equals to 0. In this statement, we have two important parts. The first part, datasets / datasets / fb.csv, is to locate where the data is on the Jupyter system. The second part, parse dates index underscore column, is to analyze the date data inside of this source data and use the date data as an index for the data frame. Let's take a look at the data frame. Let's type in FB stock and then let's click the Run Cell button. Or you can press Shift and Enter key on your keyboard together to see the result. Notice that the date column is being used as an index for this data frame. We transformed a simple data frame to a time series data frame. And the starting date starts from January 2nd, 2015. If you go to the end of this data frame, you will find the last day is June 1st, 2017. There are 608 rows in this data frame. We can also visualize the performance of Facebook stock in this 2.5-year period. Suppose we want to draw a chart to show the closing price over this time period. We can type in square brackets after FB stock. Between square brackets, let's type in two double quotes and then type in close. This means we want to access to all data under the close column. And then type in dot plot parentheses after the square bracket. And then you can click the Run Cell button. This chart shows everyone the daily closing price for Facebook stock over a 2.5-year period. Note that we have so many data inside of this set. We cannot even say each day's date. We can only say important monthly marker like February, May, August, and November for this time series data. Sometimes we don't want to access to the entire data set. We just want to access to a piece of it. Let's say we are interested in the daily closing price between February 14th, 2015 to June 14th, 2015. How can we do that? Let's change the statement. Let's remove dot plot and then type in another set of square brackets. Inside of it, we need to specify the starting date and the ending date of the new time period. First, let's type in two double quotes. Let's type in 2015 small dash 02 small dash 14. This means we want to use February 14th, 2015 as the starting date for the new time period. After the double quote, let's type in a colon and then another two double quotes and then type in 2015 small dash 06 small dash 14. This means we want to use June 14th, 2015 as the ending date of the new time period. And then after the square bracket, let's type in a dot, plot, parentheses. And then click the Run Cell button. Now you can see the starting date of the new time period is February 14th to June 14th in 2015. This is how you access to a part of a data set. Also, you can skip the ending date. Let's say we just type in a colon, nothing else. That means the new starting date, it will be February 14th, 2015. The new ending date will be the end of the data frame. That will be June 1st, 2017. Because we didn't specify the ending date of the new time period, Jupyter will use the last day of the data frame as the ending date. Let's restore the entire data set. Let's remove the second curly bracket. This is the entire data set. Let's talk about the moving average. When you work for investment bank, you will frequently hear people say moving average value or MA value for a stock. I want to use Excel to show you how to calculate moving average first, and then we'll go back to Jupyter analysis. Let's take a look at moving average in Excel. Because we are only interested in the closing price, let's hide the other columns. Let's just keep the date column and the closing price column. When you calculate a moving average value, the first step is to identify a number of days that can form small time circles inside of the data set. This number is very subjective. You can decide. You can choose 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, 100 days, doesn't matter. Let me use 3 days as an example. Let's create a new column. Let's call this 3D MA. MA represents moving average. After you identify the number of days that can form the time circles, the next step is to calculate the average value for every 3 days. Can we calculate the 3D MA for the first day? We can't, because we only have 1 day data. What about the second day? Can we calculate this value? We can't, because we only have 2 day data. What about the third day? We can't calculate 3D MA from the third day, right? Because we already have 3 day data. What we need to do is to calculate the average value for the first 3 days. In H4, I want to type in equal sign, average, and then choose the 3 day data. This will be the first 3 day moving average value for the dataset. What about the second one? What we need to do is to average the 3-day data from the second day, third day, and then the fourth day. In H5, let's type in equal sign, average, and then choose second day, third day, fourth day. This is the second 3-day moving average value. What about the third one? For January 8th, 2015, we do the same. We choose 3-day values and then average them. They will be January 8th, January 7th, January 6th, right? In H6, let's type in equal sign, average, and then choose January 6th, 7th, and then 8th. This will be the third 3-day moving average. We can keep the same procedure over and over again until we reach the end of the data frame. As you can see, it's very simple to calculate the moving average values over a certain time circle. But why do we want to do this? This is a very important question, right? We need to figure out the purpose of the moving average values. The main purpose of moving average is to cancel out the influence of special events on a stock's price performance. Let's say one day a closing price for Facebook was extremely low. It's not because Facebook had issue in their business. It's because some investor in Texas sold a lot of shares of Facebook stocks on that day. That brought down the Facebook closing price on that day. It's not because Facebook had issue. It's just because the investor doesn't like Facebook anymore. He oversold Facebook. If we only look at that day closing price, you will say the closing price is extremely low. But if we use the 3-day moving average value, we use 3 to divide the extremely low value for that day. Then in the 3-day moving average, the average value is a little bit higher. That will give a fair view of the closing price for Facebook. We are able to cancel out the special event that the investor in Texas oversold Facebook. This is the main purpose of the moving average value. Now that we understand how to calculate 3-day moving average values, let's go back to Jupyter and see how to use Python to perform moving average analysis. The way of performing moving average analysis is very simple in Python. Let's create a new statement. Let's call this pd dot rolling underscore mean, and then parentheses. Between parentheses, we need to specify 2 parameters. The first one is which column we want to perform the moving average analysis on. The second one is the number of days that forms a small time circle inside of the data set. Let's create FB stock, curly bracket, and then double quotes, and then type in close. We want to perform the closing price moving average analysis. Between the square bracket and parentheses, let's type in a comma, and then type in 3. This means we want to perform the 3-day moving average analysis. Let's click the Run Cell button. This shows the moving average value calculation, right? But we want to put this data into a chart. So after the parentheses, let's type in a dot, plot, parentheses, and then click the Run Cell button. As you can see, we have 2 color charts in this picture, right? One is the blue one, that is the real daily closing price. Another one is a green one, green line. This shows the 3-day moving average value over a 2.5-year period. I showed you the 3-day moving average, but in practice, in a real financial analysis, we usually use a much larger number, like a 100-day moving average or 250 moving average. The reason is the effects of some really important special events will last much longer than 3 days, right? They will influence the stock price much longer than 3 days. So we increase the time period. Let's use 100 as an example. Let's change 3 to 100. This one will give you a much clearer picture. The blue line shows the real closing price for Facebook every day, and the green line shows the 100-day moving average closing price for Facebook. We can get a lot of useful information from charts like this. Let me use November 2016 to February 2017 as an example. If we look at this time period, the green line is at around $125 mark, right? But the blue line, the real closing price, were all below $125 mark. What happened to Facebook during this time period? After reading through the financial analysis report about business, we find the business was very healthy during this time period. Actually, they reported a user number gain and the earning gain during this time period. But the price for Facebook stocks went down. That means some special event influenced the investors' confidence about Facebook, right? What special event happened during this time period? In the US, the presidential election was going on around November 2016, right? The new president didn't take the office until January 2017. This is a big deal to the financial investment market. Usually, when investors face political uncertainties, they will sell a lot of stocks to avoid the risks, to avoid the uncertainties. That will bring down a stock's prices. If we use the 100-day moving average to cancel out the influence of the presidential election, a fair price for each Facebook stock should be around $125. But because of the political uncertainties, investors were overselling Facebook stocks. This overly underestimated the stock price for Facebook during this time period. If you are an investor who's willing to take risk, at this moment, you can consider buying Facebook stocks. This is how you analyze a stock price from a longer time period by using the moving average values.